Hello, everyone. This is, of course, Vlog Media Breeze, and I'm Bree, coming back at you today because I wanted to come on and just give you some in the news, Real Housewives type of information. Some of it you may have already heard on these YouTube streets, seeing as how everyone tends to get ahead of me in the game. And my apologies. I'm never going to get this lighting right. I'm not good at this stuff, you guys. I really am not. And it shows I'm not good. Like, some people will say they're not good at it, but you look at their whole production and you know they're lying. As you can see, I'm not lying. And I'm having to do this actually with my webcam. So I'm pre-recording it and I'm going to have to upload it into YouTube. And when I upload it, I'm going to see if it will allow me to transfer it over to live stream, to StreamYard, because I tried to use Zoom. I don't like it. I don't like Zoom. Zoom makes things too complicated. StreamYard is just way better. I digress on that topic. I'm coming to you because I wanted to talk to you about some Real Housewives things, and I had hoped to be able to put some images up, but in this webcam it does not allow that. So that's unfortunate. And so I'm going to be reading some of the information. I'm going to put my glasses on. I hate wearing my glasses because my head's so big that this thing, it hurts my ears. So I'm going to do the best I can with it here. Let's see here. What do I have for you? Just give me a moment because there was a little bit of stuff. Well, first I'm going to start with Real Housewives of New York because there's been some going back and forth this week with regards to the racial topics that were on the show. And I don't know why it is that Black people become as uncomfortable as white people do when it comes to talking about race. I'm not the least bit uncomfortable when it comes to talking about race. I can talk about it every day. I can talk about race. I think that what has happened is whenever people started passing laws and saying you couldn't talk about this in the workplace and you couldn't talk about that in the workplace, because beforehand you could talk about certain things in the workplace. But as more Blacks started to infiltrate the workplace, white people did not want to feel uncomfortable. So they said, you can't talk about this. And just to make it lighter, they said you also can't talk about politics. And you can, so there are a whole host of things you cannot talk about in the workplace. But the main issue is you can't talk about race, right? And nowadays you can talk about race in the workplace if it's in a meeting setting where one of the directors or someone brings it up, or if it is just happens to be a part of the conversation in the meeting. But it has to all be relevant to the topic at hand. And so now people have taken that into their own homes. Whereas in your home, you have freedom to talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. If I want to talk about race in my home and religion and politics, I'm going to do that. So I don't understand why it is that we're looking at these reality shows and people think that race is not a part of real life. It is. Now, I do agree with one other person on a different YouTube channel who said that he doesn't mind them talking about race, but it needs to be a more formal conversation because the way that the Real Housewives of New York is portraying race, they're just playing with it. It's like they're having fun with it, and it's not fun. It's not fun for those of us who experience it. And it's not fun for those of us who look at other people who look like us experience negative things like death, brutality, just being mistreated in the workplace. And not even, nowadays, not even just being mistreated in the workplace by your white superiors, but your white superiors entice your Black superiors to do the same thing to you. And they will do it because they are the new house ninja. Okay? So I want to move forward and say why I'm talking about all of that. Sometimes I get long-winded because I am a talker. I'm a talker, okay? But I get long-winded. And Ramona said something, and she said it this season during one of the episodes, and then she repeated it in PageSix, because PageSix also brings up the concern about whether or not there's too much race talk going on with the Real Housewives of New York. And Ramona says to Ebony, well, I mean, looking at you, I don't think you suffer. And she says that after Ebony told her that being black comes with some suffrage. And I'm paraphrasing what Ebony said. I don't have her exact wording. But in PageSix, they reiterated that. And Ramona said, looking at you, I don't think you suffer. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I do not see anything wrong with Ramona was being honest with Ebony. But Ebony, I think, is trying to understand whether or not, is Ramona a racist? Or is she someone who voted for Trump because of his, bills that he passed? Because if Ramona can't talk to you in detail, and if she can't talk to you in some kind of logical manner that lets you know she voted for him based on, bills that he actually executed himself. He didn't even go through Congress the way that he should have, or the more dignified way is to go through Congress and the Senate. He just sat down in a chair and started signing things off. So these were just things that he just wanted to get rid of, or things that he wanted to pass. He did executive orders on a multitude of bills, you guys, a multitude. He did not, those bills didn't go through Congress. And that is what really initiated a lot of the fight between the Democrats in the Congress and him. They weren't even allowed to work or have a discussion about the things that he was that he actually put through. So with Ramona, it is, tell us what he did that you like about him, or because a lot of the W's, you guys, they will just hear, they caught those bones that he was throwing to them, because it was very clear that he was saying to them the things that he was going to do to black folk in this country. There was an undertone of him saying those things. And these W's who went and raided the White House and caused an insurrection heard that message. So those were the haters. And I have to say, I'm so glad that Tamika from Black Lives Matter told people on Twitter and on Facebook, don't go out there, that ain't our fight. Because can you imagine if Black Lives Matter or other people who had been, for black rights as well, had been standing in the midst of all that, they would have gotten blamed for it. Because you see how twisted Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham are. You see how twisted all those Republicans are, those racist Republicans. So it would have gotten twisted. So it was just so good that we weren't there. Because you see, now they're trying to blame Antifa. There was no Black Lives Matter out there, so they're just saying, it's just a hot mess. So is Ramona a part of that? And I think that in the heart of it, that as an attorney, Ebony tries to get to the heart of things, right? She tries to get to the foundation of where something is coming from. I don't see anything wrong with her talking about race on the show. I don't see a thing at all wrong with it. But she is not the cause of the ratings going down. She's not the cause of the ratings going down. It's, New York, the Real Housewives of New York, I don't think they should get rid of them. I want them to keep Ebony. And quite frankly, I think they need, other than that, they need a whole new cast. I do not want them to keep Leah. You guys, from the very beginning, I have not liked Leah. Leah is fake. She's overactive and she does outlandish things. And so when people liked her the first season, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. She came off as being very fake to me. So I just wanted to cover that. The next Real Housewives that I want to cover are the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. As you probably have heard, Camille Grammer Myers, they call her Camille Grammer Myers because you know she was married to Kelsey Grammer. So I want to say something to you. Most of the time when a woman gets married again, she does her maiden name. It would be Camille and whatever her maiden name is and her new married name. But Camille has kept both her married names. She's hanging on to Kelsey Grammer. Okay? And I guess she can do that because of the status that she maintained being married to someone who was an A-lister in Hollywood. But just normally people, they don't keep their ex-husband's last name attached to them. They either go straight on to their new husband's last name or they will continue using their maiden name with their new husband's name. But she's continuing with Camille Grammer Myers, okay? So it says here, and give me a moment here, okay, because I took notes here. It says that she was throwing shade at Erika Jane when Erika Jane cried on the last episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She says that Jane's tears were anything but authentic. And she goes on to say, when we filmed in the Bahamas in season 9, because that's when Camille Grammer Myers was there. When we filmed in the Bahamas on season 9 and we were all swimming in the water, I don't remember seeing Erika Jane's mascara run after swimming underwater. Just saying. So she's saying that Erika Jane put on cheap mascara and planned that tearjerker that she did with Kyle, which I wasn't feeling for her at all. I don't feel bad for Erika Jane at all, at all, at all, at all. No one should, I just disagree with anyone who feels bad for her, period. At first, I was trying to have some sense of understanding or empathy, but when I learned that she didn't even want to give some of those millions that she has to those people who lost people to death, it showed how heartless and selfish she is. She's heartless and selfish. The first thing I would have done, listen, if I have $20 million and I learned that my husband has done something like that, I'm going to at least give 19. I can start all over. You can get 19 and I may even just give you even the other million. Just leave me something to eat. You know, let me be able to eat. You know, I'm sorry, that showed no empathy toward what those people had gone through. So she's sitting there. That's the prime example of a narcissist. She's trying to manipulate the public into thinking that she's the one suffering and it's all about her. That is one of the traits of a narcissist, you guys. I digress on that. After Camille Grammer, what's her name? Myers. I can't even get her other name. Camille Grammer Myers said what she said. Here comes Lisa Rinna. I want you to know Lisa Rinna's 58 years old. She should know better. I just learned that she was 58 years old. And now that I know that she's 58 years old, according to PageSix, because this information I'm sharing with you is all from PageSix. You can go to pagesix.com and I'll also give them homage, you know, in my description about this live. Camille is 52, according to PageSix. Lisa Rinna, I did not know she was 58. She is way too old for the behaviors that I at least have witnessed on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I can no longer give her a pass. I can no longer give her a pass. She's like ass backwards and tripled up. I don't know what's wrong with her behaving this way. She comes out and she says to Camille Grammer, and this is per PageSix, she calls her an a-hole. She says, oh, someone needs attention. Someone needs some attention, okay, sweetie? You are still an a-hole. She put that on her Twitter about Camille. So it takes an a-hole to call somebody an a-hole. I'm telling you, she wants attention. She's the one who's looking for attention. Camille wasn't even addressing her. She was addressing Erika. So Lisa Rinna gives Erika a pass on what they did to these clients of her husband. And I'm not saying Erika directly did it, but now that she knows about it, her response to it, to me, is unacceptable, right? So she gets a pass on that. But they couldn't give Lisa Vanderpump a pass on some dogs. They went in on LVP. And I'm not a big fan of LVP because I think she did report things to the gossip columnists about her coworkers. But that was just very interesting to me that she would come out for Erika and she couldn't let LVP get a pass on some dogs. The other thing I want to cover is, I did Love and Marriage just now in my the video before this one, and I noticed that their photograph for the show still shows Martell and Melody like side by side as if they're together. They could have changed that photo and had them like back to back. His back turned one way and hers the other way. Let the other two couples on the side pose as they have posed in the photo, but then have Martell and Melody back to back, because they are not together and the photo is so deceptive and I don't like it. I do not like it at all. I do not like it. I don't know who gave the authority for that photo to be published that way, but that was the wrong photo. So I wanted to go ahead and say that. The other thing I wanted to say is with regards to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle says that in December 2021 that Bravo is coming up with another Real Housewives show. It's called The Real Housewives of the North Pole, and it's going to be on Peacock TV, and she's going to be the star. So I don't know why they're coming up with Real Housewives of the North Pole on maybe because Christmas North Pole. Okay, Christmas North Pole. So just so that you guys know, it's going to be actually a holiday movie. It's not going to be a series. It's a holiday movie. And it says here on her Instagram, snow freaking exciting. Get that play on words. Snow freaking excited. And then she has a snowflake. Congrats to @CalRichards18 on landing a starring role in The Real Housewives of the North Pole on Peacock TV. Head to the link in bio for more information on this new holiday movie. And then of course people were giving her accolades for landing that role, so she's going to be the star on it. So congratulations to her, to Kyle Richards. I do like Kyle Richards. The other thing I wanted to bring up is on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I got this also from the Jasmine brand. Portia may not be coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They're saying she may not be coming back. She's concerned that one of her castmates, and I guess we can assume Kenya, because she wants to come, if she comes back, she wants to be with Simon. But she doesn't want anyone to bring in any of Simon's old girlfriends or flings or anything like that. So she's concerned about that type of attention being given to her on the show. And, well, that's your storyline. Go with it. Roll with it. Let them do it. At the same time, I said a while ago that even this past season, I thought this past season really should be Portia's last. And I really thought it should be Candy's last. So maybe they offered her a big bag, because I really thought it should be Candy's last. It should be Portia's last. I give Kenya 1 or 2 more seasons. And they need a whole new cast as well. They need to shake up Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of New York. People are saying they need to do away with the shows, period. I completely disagree. These are 2 major cities in the United States. And so, and they have a lot of wealth in them. Atlanta has a lot of wealth, okay? A lot of black wealth, okay? So they can find some other people. The issue with New York, though, is they are having difficulty, from what I understand in the past, they had difficulty finding people, other women, who really wanted to do the show. A lot of people did not want to do the show. So they're going to have to dig deep and find some people in New York City. And they need to find a mixed cast. And, you know, New York has a good deal of, you know, Latinas. I don't know about the wealth of the Latinas in New York, but if they could find some wealthy Latinas, that would definitely represent New York. Latinas, black, Jewish women, you know, and throw in 1 or 2 Irish women, you know. They need to mix the cast up, though. They need to mix it up. And if they are going to talk about race, it needs to be authentic and not just thrown out there in the midst of a conversation. Because I know for me, whenever I'm having a conversation with my girlfriends, I mean, we will sometimes say something about being black or race. We will do that. At the same time, we have other conversations as well. So I want to see them probably on the show, since everyone else is saying, you know, it's too much for them. It's not too much for me for them to have it, because for me it's a reality. At the same time, if many of the viewers are saying that, then they should probably be a little more genuine about their relationships as well. So that's what I will say to that. And I don't think I have anything else here. Let's see, I have some notes, and it's still late. This is like right after I've done a live stream with Love and Marriage Huntsville, and this is a pre-recorded, so I'm going to send this over. And I'm just making sure that there's nothing else that I wanted to cover. Going through my notes here, because I do have to take notes. I do have to take notes, guys. I guess that's it. Okay. I'll add a thumbnail to this and see how it goes. I think I'm going to put this in a premiere, and I hope that you guys will watch. Remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And we will see you in the next one. Many blessings to you.